Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a final hot take of the evening. Easy, easy, Joan, easy. I just wanted to show everybody your cute face, okay? You could go back to sitting. Sorry. Ugh. All right, I'll pet you. Andy, as you know, has been covering Antifa, and he's just got so much stuff here. I mean, if you really want to follow this, you got to go to his Twitter and Eliajah Shafer on Blaze TV as well. Does a pretty good job of covering it. He's actually on the ground sometimes. But here's the recent stuff. After raising over 300K, Antifa pop-up kitchen Riot Ribs is suddenly announcing ceasing operations effective immediately. So that's interesting. They were feeding the rioters. I don't know how they're not partially responsible. I mean, if you know, fed bank robbers or people who committed assaults, wouldn't you get into some kind of trouble to help people commit crimes? Seems like they would. This is part of the parks in in Portland. Look at it. What a mess. Oh my God. Just absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. This looks like Rittenhouse Square in Philadelphia. It looks very similar. Um, but, it's full of tents and everything's just wrecked. Um, Here's another tweet. It's unbelievable how much money these Antifa, quote, mutual aid groups rake in through platforms like GoFundMe, Venmo, etc. I recently wrote a report about how Antifa beer virus aid in Portland raised over 100K, allegedly gave out rotten food. Jeez, and they raised 100K. Well, that's one way to make money. Guess they're not so communist after all. This is interesting. He's retweeting Justice Department's contraband. Contraband such as gasoline, hockey sticks, defense shields, leaf blowers, paint sprayers, paint cans with paint, and a jar prepped for a Molotov cocktails confiscated by federal law enforcement from violent agitators outside federal Portland courthouse. Let's take a look at these pictures. There's the shields. They're pretty easy to make, I gotta imagine. And then you got, I guess that looks like the bug spray canisters, some helmets, umbrellas, gas can, various containers for liquid. I guess these are Molotov cocktails. There's cans of beans. Tim Pool was talking about this. They're actually throwing cans of beans at cops. They're pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. And you see the hockey sticks there. I guess these are the leaf blowers they're talking about. I guess they're sort of hand pump leaf blowers. So they don't need gas or electricity. The big news in Antifa news also was Jerry Nadler still calling them a myth. Antifa rioters frequently use Roman candle mortars to fire directed shots at law enforcement protecting the Portland federal courthouse. Yeah, I mean, look, that's an explosive. Something like that hits you in the eye, it could blind you, could really hurt you. Um, I don't understand how this can be allowed. How firing fireworks at federal officers, how is that not a crime? It has to be a crime. It absolutely has to be. Uh, it's just ridiculous. Antifa extremists in the U.S. graffiti in many languages because the riots serve as media propaganda and inspiration to far-left extremists internationally. These photos were taken in Portland and Seattle. Antifa graffitis in German, Italian, and Russian. Let's take a look. Fick die police. Burn this city down piece by piece. Until the police and ICE are abolished, we will burn down this city piece by piece. Yeah, I mean, that's what they believe. Siamo tutti antifasci. That sounds Italian. No justice, no peace, no good cops, no bad protesters. And Gan Seattle Hastai Polize. That sounds Russian. No, this is the Russian. Well, I can't even read that. I can't even make a attempt at that pronunciation. Oh, looks like Andy was on Blaze TV with Eliajah. Check that out. This is more of the... as you can see, that green light, that's the lasers. That's the lasers that they've been talking about, which has blinded some of the agents, or at least damaged their eyes. I mean, imagine you get arrested for... You've not only hurt a federal agent, but you've partially blinded him. I mean, I can't see a judge going easy on you on that. I just can't. The judge has got to be like, what is wrong with you, you maniac? Even a judge that would be sympathetic towards your cause would be outraged by that you actually physically maimed another human being. And I'll just play this one more. These are explosives in Antifa. I mean, that's pretty big. It's a pretty big explosion. And, I'll say it again. Look, this is just more danger for those of you at the protest, right? I mean, I got to shift here, Joan. Sorry. If you're in these protests, I mean, it's super easy for one of those fireworks to, bounce off a fence and head towards your face and go off, or blow off a finger, or, I mean, and you'll have nobody to blame but yourself. You'll have no one to blame but yourself. Something could go off near your ear, deafen you, and somebody's going to get killed. When they kill a federal officer, I mean, that is like, you're done. You're done. Your life is over. You're going to jail for good. There is no life after killing a federal agent. You will go to jail for the rest of your life. That's a life sentence that they won't go easy on. Okay? What are you going to explain? How are you going to explain to the probation board after probably a good 17 years of your life in jail that now you should go free? You know how messed up you'll be after being in jail that long? You'll either be begging the probation board to let you go, or you'll be begging them to let you stay because you'll be so institutionalized by that point you won't even be able to function out in the real world. And understand that this will long be over. This will be over next year. After the election and the second meltdown of the left, this will mostly be over. All the tactics will change. The Democrats will give different marching orders, and the tactics will completely change, and they'll be focused on something else. Probably the focus will be, how do we make Trump a lame duck president, and how do we start going after Pence because he's the obvious next choice. And these Antifa guys, they'll throw you right under the bus. And in fact, this could be the kind of thing like they're doing with the beer virus, right? So with the beer virus, at first the Democrats wanted to deny it and say, oh, Trump made a big deal over nothing. And then they kind of immediately backed off of that. And now they're going the other way, like Trump didn't do enough. Well, that's coming too, Antifa. The Democrats are going to be like, well, Trump's not doing enough to quell the rioting. They'll be chanting in the background, yeah. Get these guys, Trump. Get these guys. Because they'll want you to go away. Either way, November, you're done. Because you're of no use to the Democrats. You're already becoming of no use to the Democrats. They may push for it before the election. They may get on board with the law and order. Yeah, they may see that they're really losing and they can't afford to do this strategy anymore. Then where are you going to be? You're going to be screwed. And it's not that you're going to be screwed in that particular moment. Everything's on videotape. Everything's on the internet. You can't erase that. Well, you can't erase it all. The feds have the internet. The cops have the internet. They're watching you. They're picking up people all the time because they know exactly where you are. Because you're big mouths and you spend all day on Twitter and Facebook proclaiming how woke and wonderful you are. And then at night you go out and do all this damage. They're gonna get you. Your only chance is to stop now. Backtrack it all, delete it all, and hope that by the time they catch up to you, the only thing you'll be good for is to like, well, I could point you in the right direction of a few guys who used to be in my cell, but I haven't talked to them in months, man. Please don't jack me up. That's your only chance. Or you'll go to jail with the rest of them. You ever hear a conspiracy? Ha! You're gonna hear of it. As soon as one of these agents dies, one of these explosives goes off and an agent dies, phew, you're done. You're done. I'd like to see the Democrats spin that, or somebody in the media spin that. One of the agents dies because some Antifa idiot packed too many explosives and it lands right near his head and just kills him. You're done. You're done if you're in that cell. They will hunt you to the ends of the earth. Murder never goes dead. You know, the statutes of limitations on everything except murder. So when the murder happens, you're in it for life, whether you're caught or not. And if you're in one of those cells, conspiracy. You go down with the whole cell. All 5 of you or 6 of you, however many. You're all going down. And that just is the cell. If they decide to go after an entire regional arm of Antifa, like Rose City Antifa or Redneck Revolt or any of these other groups, you're in one of them, or you just went to a meeting and they can tie you into it, you're done. You're done. They got videotape on everything. You think that mask is protecting you? You're probably wrong, because they already have infrared. And I guarantee you they got a technology that can map out your face a lot better than you think underneath that mask when they want to. Yeah, I bet they get a really good shot of you under that mask. I bet they got some technology that's going to come out after all this. It's going to be like, oh, they can see right underneath the mask. Mask doesn't do any good. Yeah, and only ones that wear, like, you know, heat-resistant materials are the only ones they can't see. Besides the fact that they'll just catch you. They'll just catch you. I mean, you can't keep the mask on forever. There are cameras all over the city. All over. And they can, you know, find them all. Austin Zone can. And he's just on the internet. Imagine what the cops could do with actual access to the cameras. They could follow you all the way back to your car, all the way into the train, all the way out to the next train, into the suburbs, wherever you are, all the way into the parking lot where you parked. You think you're that paranoid? You're never paranoid enough. They're going to get you. It's going to take them time. They're working on you now, though. They're going to get the big guys. They're going to get the leaders. They're working on you. Yeah, you think this will all be fun and games until you start to pay the price for this. And all this stuff will be illegal by next year, too. Oh, Congress will pass a law so fast it'll make your head spin. Yeah, all this stuff, half this stuff will be illegal, so Antifa can't function anymore. Oh, and forget about Facebook and Twitter. All those guys will fold like a house of cards and kick you right off the platform. Yeah, I'm waiting for that, too. That's probably November as well. So keep it up. You're going to jail.